If I'd followed all the rules, I'd never have gotten anywhere. That's a quote from Marilyn Monroe. But what was she talking about? Let's find out. I'd or I'd. How do we know which one to use? Let's find out. Hi guys, I'm Reggie Scales from North Carolina. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also hit the like button and click the bell. That way you won't miss these classes that come out every week. So guys, today we're going to learn about I'd. We're going to learn how to use I'd like I would and I'd I had. We're going to use them in real life situations, learn that grammar, so that way if you're traveling abroad or if you're speaking with a native speaker, you'll be able to use it correctly. Let's get started. So like you've seen already, I'd has two different meanings, I would and I had. We're gonna start with I would, learn the different meanings of that, see some real life situations with I would, and then we'll move on to I had. So let's start with I would. If you're having problems using words like would, don't forget to check out one of my classes. You can see it above in the card. You can be able to learn how to use would, should, and could. But we'll also touch on it here too. If you're trying to figure out which I'd the native speaker is using, whether I would or I had, it's really not that complicated. Basically, just remember that would is usually followed by a bare infinitive. Now that's a verb without to. Let's say you're going to Starbucks. I do like Starbucks, by the way. Maybe in your country there's a Starbucks. It's really chill. Well, if you're at Starbucks or any other coffee shop and let's say you want to get a coffee and they ask you what you'd like to drink. And you say, I'd like a coffee with a shot of espresso. You see? I'd like. In that example, I would is followed by a bare infinitive. I'd like. I would like a shot of coffee with an espresso. Let's see some other examples. Let's say that your friends want to go to the movies and they invite you. They say, hey, do you want to go see the movie? Well, you can say, I'd like to go if I had money. You don't have money, right? So, I would like to go. I'd like to go, but I don't have money. So that's when you use I'd. Basically, we say I'd because we don't want to say the long sentence. I would like to go, but I don't have money. So instead of that long sentence, we just say I'd. I'd like to go. You see how we're using that bare infinitive there? Let's do the last example. Maybe you want a class, an English class, and you say, hey, teacher Reggie, can you teach me? I'd be happy to teach you. Actually, I would. Just let me know and you can have a class. So I'd be happy to teach you English whenever you need. So if you see there, that was the first way that we use I'd, I would, when it's followed by a bare infinitive. But there's also another reason that we use I would. Let's see. If someone's talking about I'd have, well, they're talking about would. I would have gone to the store if I had money to go. I'd have gone to the store if I had money. I'd have gone to the park if I had time. Basically, you're saying something that you would have done in the past if circumstances were different. So, I'd have. Basically, 90% of the time that you're going to use I'd when you're talking about would, it's for those two reasons. If would is followed by a bare infinitive, or if you're using the perfect infinitive. That's I would have plus past participle. Like I said, if you're a little bit confused about how to use would or I had, don't worry. We already have a video and just check it out. If you're following, let me know in the comment section using a sentence with I'd. But really though, if you're here, it's because you want to speak like a native speaker, right? There are actually two expressions when we use I'd, and we're still talking about I would, that usually only natives use. Let's check those out. Let's think about something that you know is really important for you to do. If you know it's really important and you have to do it, usually a native speaker says, I'd better do this. Let's say you have a project to do tomorrow, maybe an English project or for university or maybe for work, right? I'd better do this project now because tomorrow it's due. I'd better. Or maybe you know that your parents are coming home soon and you know you have to take out the trash before they come. I better take out the trash before mom comes. So I'd better, something that's very important to do. Other times, maybe there's something that you want to do instead of something that you see or that you do every day. Now, for that expression, we use rather. I'd rather live in Rome than live in Paris. Or even maybe that your family bought you some food that you don't like. I'd rather have a hamburger than pizza. All right? We use I'd rather. I would rather. All right, so those are the two. I'd better do this, or I'd better do that, and I'd rather. I'd rather have this option than that option. Wow, look at you. It looks like you're almost native already. So now that you know how to use I'd, like I would, now let's learn how to use I'd when you're talking about I had. When you're talking about I had, when you're saying I'd, you're not talking about possession. No. I had is talking about the past participle. That's basically the only difference. I had means past participle, but we'll see some examples. You can say I had gone to the store, or I had spoken a speech, I had driven to the park. So I'd basically means I had. Let's look at this example. I'd gone to the movies 3 times last week. So you're saying, I went to the movies 3 separate times, but in the time period of last week. It's not at the same time. So you would say, I had gone to the movies 3 times last week. Or, I'd gone to the movies 3 times last week. Let's see one more example, and I think you'll understand. This is an example that many native speakers use all the time. I wish I'd waited longer. Maybe you went to the doctor and you're nervous because you're waiting in the office and you're like, ugh, I wish I'd waited longer. Or, I wish I had waited longer. But native speakers, we usually don't say a long sentence if we don't have to, right? So, I wish I'd waited longer. Okay guys, so that's the difference between I'd, meaning I would, and I'd, meaning I had. If you have any more questions, don't worry about it. Just let me know in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to help you as soon as I can. Wow, you did such a great job today. If you liked today's class, please give me a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, click the bell. That way you'll get these notifications every week, and I'll see you next week. Take care.